Time now for the voice of the land on the Big Play Network with your hosts, Kevin Arnold and Always Positive Jay.
Welcome on in to another edition of the voice of the land. Boy, oh boy, the stuff that goes on when the cameras are not rolling or recording. Just Jay, Always Positive Jay is alongside me here tonight. I don't know how much of him actually
I'm
is
a little
here.
loopy today. I'm not gonna lie. I had like an 11-hour day today. I'm cool.
Yeah, you forgot to send the text that we needed you to send.
Yeah, I know.
Well,
Got to do a lot of things.
Yeah,
but I got a lot of stuff today done. So I got a lot. Let's just get into this, dude.
let's just get into it. We got to thank our friends over at Venture Technical. They'll get the right person in the right job the first time. Of course, Voice of the Land, part of the Big Play Sports Network family, and also partner with LPV Productions. I'm Kevin Arnold. That's Loopy, Always Positive Jay, and Peter Tellup is alongside as well, our producer extraordinaire. And hey, we are also, I always forget to do this at the top of the show, but we are also on the Be On Air podcast network as well. So we want to thank everyone with the Ohio Media School, the Be On Air network of schools. That's where I went. And if you want to get your start in doing something like this, why not check out Ohio Media School? Hey, no free ads, but free ad right there.
There you go.
You know, they did a lot for me. So why not pay it forward to someone else that might hear that message? Jay, we're gonna get started with the Cavs here tonight, and your loopiness has thrown me all off. So the transitions, the professional level of coming into the segment's not there. But boy, oh boy, Max Strus comes alive in the fourth quarter last night and absolutely wills the Cavs to victory. Of course, they're gonna be playing here in just a few more minutes. They're in this stretch of 12 games in 18 days, 13-20. Another back-to-back tonight, one of 4 that they have in this stretch, Jay.
I actually jumped on, I think it's Matt Fontana's bet, the Allen getting the first bucket today. I put a couple bucks on it. So let's root for Allen to get the first bucket today.
So that Jay can win some money.
I mean, on Tipico. Remember us. We're coming.
Hey, way to follow the company motto and line there, man. Tipico is one of they sponsor what, all of the other ones, or just Dave's show?
Pretty much, I think most of them.
Yeah. So hey, we're here too. You know, hey, I know that you guys sponsor the crew. You got I have a jersey that says Tipico Sportsbook on the sleeve.
If I need to become Always Parlay Jay, I will. I ain't afraid.
I mean, are you gonna have more success than Parlay Paul? I'm not taking shots. I'm just saying.
I mean,
or are we gonna have
not? How can I not have more success than Parlay Paul? As the man who dubbed that dude the name Paul, I'm allowed to make fun of his terrible picks.
How'd that come about?
For
those that don't know, we're talking about Chris Oldak, producer of Really Big Show, host of Paul and Paulus, all part of ESPN Cleveland's programming. Go ahead.
So one of the callers was getting annoyed by Chris's bump back music, and he's like, "Oh, grandfather Oldak over there with all these terrible old songs," and which was Throwback Thursday, which I still didn't understand. And I called in the one day. I'm like, "Hey, what's going on, Hammer? What's going on, Riz? What up, Paul?" And he's like, "Did you just call him Paul?" I'm like, "Yeah, since everyone keeps calling him Grandpa Oldag, I'm just going to call him Paul from now on." And it's stuck.
I did not know that. Are you giving credit for that?
They better give me credit for it. They've done it before.
I mean, I've never heard you be giving credit for it, but
ask Chris tomorrow. He'll tell you.
Okay. I'll
definitely. I'm pretty sure I don't even remember the caller. It was Chris in Phoenix. You know Chris in Phoenix.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I've talked to Chris.
He was the one that kept making fun of Chris and calling him Grandpa Oldag.
Oh, okay.
And I just shortened it to Paul.
That makes sense. Well, the people that aren't getting old are the Cavaliers, and the shot by Strus is aging like fine wine over these last 24 hours.
Kevin, were you watching that live?
We watched the fourth quarter live, yes. So we watched that shot live.
What was that like, man? Because I didn't get to watch it. I don't have Dallas.
I had to shut my mouth because Lincoln had just gone to sleep. My 9-month-old, soon to be 10-month-old.
Oh, so the like where you're super excited and you have to contain it feeling.
Yes. Yeah.
Those are always fun. That's why I don't miss living in duplexes no more.
Well, that's why we, at least we're happy we're not in our apartment, because Lincoln likes to make noise with everything, bang like pots and pans off the floor, all of his toys, anything that makes noise, Lincoln's got to hit off the floor. So like if we were in our apartment that we used to have, boy, second floor and first floor, because we were on the top one, they would all be getting a drumming, not a drumming clinic, but at least maybe a drumming headache from
it's a free performance, man.
Yeah, free performance from Lincoln basically every single night.
Avant-garde.
Yeah. So we were watching the game together and I was holding him. He was starting to get tired. I was rocking him to sleep. He goes to sleep with about 29 seconds left when I think Mitchell had hit his 3 off the pass from Garland, and they go, of course, Dallas takes a timeout, and so I go lay him down, watch the final few seconds. Cavs are up 1. Yes, they turn the ball over, but Dallas they still have to go against our defense. They get the perfect tip of the ball from the inbounds, which I thought was already 5 seconds, by the way. And somehow Okoro gambles for it, and it falls to Luka, who had a heck of a night. Kyrie had a heck of a night as well. And, they find PJ Washington underneath. And you started to feel like nothing was going our way in those last few seconds, because we get a tip on the inbounds, can't get the ball. Jared Allen actually touched the basketball that PJ Washington put into the hoop, and it still goes in. And I see 2.6 on the clock. Something in me, I don't know what it was. I was like, in my head, I didn't say it out loud, and I should say more things that are in my head out loud because somehow they come to fruition.
Don't. That's why they keep coming to fruition.
Okay, well, I'll keep that.
It's like, like when you're making a birthday wish, you can't tell anyone your wish.
Yeah. I don't know. Did you ever do that? Did you ever have a birthday wish come true?
Maybe. I don't remember any of them anymore. That was a long time ago, Kevin.
I don't even know if I feel like people would tell me to make a wish, and I don't even know that I would actually make a wish. I would just blow out the candle. I just like blowing out the candles on the cake as a kid.
I'm sure we did when we were kids.
Yeah. And it's probably something like outlandish that nothing would ever, that as adults we now know is far from reality.
Totally side story again, because this is what we do. Dude, last birthday I was at, it was so bad. I'm like, I wanted cake. I really wanted some cake. And it was my niece's birthday. And she gets ready to blow out the cake. Dude. Laced this cake with spit, dude. It was just like I was like, oh Lord. I was like, no, you ruined the entire cake. I don't know how everyone else ate it. They're like, you don't want a piece? I'm like, no, I'm good. When all you guys are sick next week, you tell me about it, because I'm not touching that cake.
No. I mean, I can't touch cake anyways, but that's definitely not happening.
I was just like, oh man.
But Strus kind of spit on the Dallas party, Dallas's cake last night with that shot. So
yeah, he did.
and I know they don't have a timeout, but it still felt kind of in slow motion. I saw Strus take the ball out, and I know what usually happens in these situations. It's usually you have someone kind of at the foul line area as you inbound, if you got to go the length of the floor, and you get a running start to run into the shot. I'm like, this guy's hit like 4 threes this quarter. He's hot. So, like, is this going to go in? Like, is he going to get in a good position to get the shot off? Goes through the air, and it feels like it's in the air forever. And then, like, credit to Bally Sports for this. I know we've kind of taken our shots at them in the past, or at least complained in the past. And this isn't about the people that work for Bally's and people in Cleveland and all the different markets for Bally's. It's more so that, again, we don't have the ability to watch our teams. And if we do, the streaming of the game doesn't work right or anything like that. But credit to Bally's and the people working for Bally's here in Cleveland. Their hoop mics, whatever mics were near the hoop, I mean, as pure as if you're standing right there, the ball hitting the net, nothing but net. Like the sound that you want to hear was crystal clear. Absolutely crystal clear. And then you just see everybody going nuts. I loved all the replays though, with like the faces that changed on the Dallas sideline. And then
did you see DeJuan Jones?
I did see DeJuan Jones, and then Anthony Walker and Martin Emerson were at the game as well. And someone said something. They're like, because he got up and started jumping like crazy, and he was all over the place. And they're like, "Oh, the pure joy of seeing the ball go through the hoop." And then the absolute fear of when you see a man as massive as DeJuan Jones jumping across in front of you. I don't know where he was going. I have no idea where he was going.
That's why it would be scary. And that dude was jumping around in front of me. I'd be like, "Oh, Lord, please don't land on me." That was awesome, dude. That was an awesome game. That was straight up.
I didn't even see him.
The game of the year.
I didn't even see him until like everybody was posting it on Twitter. I saw like all these different reactions. We watched so many different replays. We even like rewound our Bally Sports feed because like Jana wanted me to see the face of, I think it was one of the Cavs workers, that one of like the bench crew for the opposing team. They always have like some sort of crew that kind of helps them with their water bottles, their towels, all that kind of stuff. So he's definitely a Cleveland fan because his eyes go from just like, trying to follow the track of the ball to like wide open, eyes wide open, mouth wide open. And you just see Marcus Morris or Markieff Morris. I don't know which one Dallas has. I don't really care. But his face just going to pure agony was the quintessential way to sum up.
PJ Walker's the guy who made the game-winning or almost game-winning shot. He's sitting there flexing all hard, and then it goes in, and his shoulders just drop, head drops. He just walks to the bench. I'm like, don't be flexing on my court, son.
I watched that angle of like a couple different times because people were like, like the joy of a win to having it ripped away from you, however people described it. And like, he is flexing and his like shoulders are up, but it's almost like in A Christmas Story where the kids got all those coats on and I can't put my arms down. I can't put my arms down. Even when I could see like the shoulders dip a little bit, he still had the arms out. Like he couldn't put them down. He was still walking around like trying to flex or whatever, but with the saddest look on his face.
That was great.
Now, again, it's a big win for this team. I've heard people say that it was a bad win for the team. I don't know that there's, are there really bad wins? I guess if you're only looking at it as like this team has to perform in the playoffs, but I don't see a bad win, especially when you're going up against a playoff team in the Western Conference that had come in winning 7 in a row or something like that. One of the hottest shooting teams. Look, Luka went for 45 and 14 assists. Kyrie dropped 30.
We still got the W.
Now, is it a lucky shot? Yeah. Like, guys and girls actually are starting to, they're definitely extending what general range or what good range is on a 3-point shot. It's not consistently back at half court, let alone over half court. So
how many times do you hear people hitting shots from the logo now?
Right. Now, granted, when they do say shot from the logo, it's like whatever decal is out there and like it extends far across the court. It's like the closest tip of that logo.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I agree with you. That's why they call it the logo and it's not half court.
Right.
They use the
Yeah,
like
because the
15
logo
feet of
extends
it.
out. Now, I will tell you this: Steph Curry hits logo threes, close to half court threes. Caitlin Clark,
Damian Lillard.
Caitlin Clark hits logo three, like legit logo threes. The people that, they may knock one down that's a little bit further out of their typical range and they call it a logo three. They have like a heel on the tip of the C or whatever is at half court and wherever you're at. Like, yeah, it's still like a deep three, but we're kind of bending what we're calling a logo three nowadays. But it's still that it's a 3-point shooting contest, honestly, is the game of basketball. I was just on the way in, I was slipping through the radio stations and ended up catching my alma mater, Cleveland State. Their basketball game was on the radio. And, you know, they were kind of describing what was happening on the floor, and they said, like, it's rare now that you see a mid-range jumper and someone curling off of a screen, curling to the basket or curling to the elbow for a mid-range jumper. What do people do now? They said it right there. It was they flare out to the 3-point line. It's pick and pop, but further and further away from the basket. It's not trying to get closer. And that's what the game of basketball has become. And each new person that shows the shooting prowess is definitely extending what it means to be a prolific scorer, prolific shooter in the game of
All I know is
basketball.
I was doing that way before the NBA was. I was doing that in NBA Jam. Dude, I wouldn't dunk ever. All I did is shoot threes.
Really?
But I had Mark Price and Brad Daugherty. Mark Price, I just light it up from 3-point land, and that's all I do is shoot threes all day long. My point, I was just saying, could you imagine Mark Price playing in today's game, or like even Reggie Miller? There's so many great shooters from the past that if they were allowed to shoot threes like they are now,
I mean,
that would have destroyed records.
Look back at the late great Pistol Pete Maravich, who Caitlin Clark is going to smash his NCAA Division I scoring record. Like, she's going to have the scoring record in college basketball. And I like to look at sports as this is basketball, whether it's WNBA or NBA. I'm not saying like this is women's basketball, because I don't know, at times I feel like we're trying to qualify it as something. It's still basketball at the end of the day, and it's good basketball. It's skillful basketball. It's taking the game to new heights type basketball on both sides of the ledger. And you can say the same for so many other sports. Caitlin Clark is going to smash that record. I'm not trying to take away from that. I'm just saying a guy like Pistol Pete Maravich, like, imagine if he had a 3-point line. Like, some of these guys that played before that line was even there. Like, what?
Who's the famous Laker? I can't think of his name right now. He's like the guy that's supposed to be on the NBA logo.
Oh, Jerry West.
Yeah, I don't think he had a three point
I don't think so either. No,
but he shot it from deep a lot.
Yeah.
So
yeah, and he's still the logo of the NBA. So the game of basketball has gone from highlight dunks to I'm going to shoot from wherever. And I mean, of course, the most you can still get is a 3. So it doesn't really add to the game.
The center was the most important position.
And it's become.
Now it's kind of guard or shooting forward.
And the Cavs the Cavs are the only one that's still trying to make the center position relevant. But what they're doing is they only have one guard and one center out there for most of the game. Once they get the starters in, they start to rotate Garland and Mitchell in and out, and then Mobley and Allen in and out. So they're still trying to put emphasis on it while playing this spread them out type game where you can get Mitchell and Garland, Karis LeVert, guys like that going to the hoop. I like that I've seen Max Strus this season, Jay, and some of the other guys that can shoot from the outside kind of use that and the pump fake to their advantage and get to the hoop. Like, so this team is, they're 2-2 after the All-Star break. I think yeah, they're going to hit a little lull like they are right now. I'm not like pushing a panic button like everybody wants to. Like every single game now, they were on such a hot streak that every game is being put under a microscope, thinking that this is exactly who this team is going to be in the playoffs. They still have 2 months left of the season. Like who knows what team is going to be playing like what once we get to that spot.
Who's going to be healthy is another thing. Like, it's not always who you're going to play, like, or when you're going to play. It's when you play them.
Right.
It's just like that's why the schedule game is kind of silly, because you can go through all these teams and be like, oh, that's an easy one, that's for sure win, and oh, this one's going to be tough, and everything changes after 3 weeks.
And look, the Cavs are going to be, yes, they're going to be judged this season on what they do in the playoffs. But Jay and I keep saying it. Allow yourself to still enjoy the ride, because it's a different way of getting to that point.
Kevin, I'm watching from the ESPN app, dude. I'm trying to enjoy it the best I can. Right. I can't even watch them.
Right. And I know there's other people that can't. We're going to talk about the Guardians next. And, you know, that's still an issue of being able to watch them or not being able to watch them. But enjoy the ride, enjoy the development, enjoy those ups and downs, because that's what the sport is about. They can't prove anything to you and get the taste of the playoffs out of your mouth until the playoffs start, and that's still 2 months away. So if that's all you're looking for out of this team this year is to get the bad taste of the Knicks series from last year out your mouth, then wait till the playoffs start. Turn on your TV when everything's on national television come April, mid-April, and see what this team does, whatever seed they are and whatever opponent they get in that series. Let's see what this team does, and let's see what this team learned from being in the playoffs last year and being absolutely embarrassed, having the lights too bright. Jared Allen has taken a different approach this year. I've seen a different...
Who called it? Who called it, Kevin?
I know. I've seen a different Jared Allen.
I told you it was going to happen, man. I was so happy it did too.
Well,
really more for him. I mean, who doesn't like being right? But I just really hope that he would take that challenge on, and he totally has. And when come playoff time is really going to be the true testament.
Right.
But
and my
boy's playing tough.
We all agree on that. Again, he can't show you that he has actually changed. He can't show me he is truly changed. I'm not like fully bought in to Jared Allen saying that he is a tough basketball player. I think that he is, but I'm not fully bought in until I get the playoffs to make that a concrete opinion. But again, he doesn't have that opportunity. So all I can do is go off of what he's doing this season. And he has definitely taken a step forward and taken last year and how the season ended into this year, and has been one of the main reasons why the Cavs are 20 games over 500 and won 18 of 20 games and has a chance to continue to hold on to the number 2 seed and make a run in the Eastern Conference this season. Where is that all going to go?
Win me some money tonight.
And hopefully making Jay some money tonight. We will update the game as we go. I'm sure they'll get through just about the first half once we are done. But on the other side, quick little switch to the baseball diamond, the Guardians, and the uniforms are being talked about. We'll talk about that next, right here on the Voice of the Land on the Big Play Network.
Whether you're looking to hire new talent or start a new career, Vector Technical has you covered. Vector Technical is a 28-year-old staffing firm that has helped thousands of job seekers advance in their career with reputable partners throughout Northeastern Ohio. Vector Technical is more than just a temp agency. With an above-average hire-in rate of 1 in 4 candidates, Vector works hard to connect the right person with the right opportunity the first time. Vector Technical hires for skilled manufacturing and light industrial work and is sure to have a career that you've been looking for. To learn more, visit our website at www.vectortechnicalinc.com.
Welcome back to the Voice of Land here on the Big Play Network and Be On Air Podcast Network as well with the audio. You can also get the audio on Google, Spotify, and Apple. I'm Kevin Arnold. He is always positive. Jay Peter Tellup alongside as well. And time to switch gears to Arizona. Goodyear, Arizona, that is, as the Guardians have started spring training. under first year of any sort of managerial experience. Stephen Vogt, former catcher in the major leagues. And yeah, I'm not looking at record and what they're doing. Boy, people, Jay, really started to freak out after they did not score a run in their first spring game.
Kevin, I've been watching baseball a long time now. I can give two craps about, like, of all the preseason stuff, baseball is the most meaningless when it comes to paying attention to those stats. I don't care. They're all working on stuff right now. Like, probably half the batters are probably trying different things with their swings. Pitchers are working on pitches, just perfecting them. Like, I just don't care.
Yeah.
It's pointless to get excited or scared.
Yeah, I think that's something you bring up a great point, Jay. I don't think people realize, they don't let themselves acknowledge and realize that, yeah, pitchers, they're trying to, they're getting their reps in to get their arms ready to start the major league season. And then even then, they're still being controlled a little bit with pitch count, innings, because you have to get your arm built up to that. If you try to go out there and throw 9 innings right away, look, that's Tommy John surgery waiting to happen. And that's not something you wish upon anybody. But not only are they trying to work out their arm and get it conditioned for the major league season and beyond, Jay said it exactly right. They're working on certain pitches, so they're not pitching to what a hitter does best and what zones you can really attack them with and which zones to stay away from. They're not looking at
setting them up. You're not pitching 2 pitches inside and high to go low and out on an off speed. They're like, no, I'm working on this curve like probably 4 times in a row real quick. And hopefully this dude don't hit it.
Yeah. And that's why the scores in spring training games are much higher. They're much higher than typical MLB games. Now, do you see MLB games have high scoring games? Absolutely. But it seems more often in spring training than in the major league season because this pitcher's going with just this pitch. Oh, well, I see that they're working on this. I can just sit on that. And then, they're trying to work on accuracy of that pitch, whether it's the curveball, working on the speed of their fastball, the changeup, whatever it might be, they're working on certain things. Batters are working on maybe trying to go the other way every single time they're going up there, the first couple games of spring training, the first couple of bats they get. And not everybody's getting an at bat throughout the game. Jose Ramirez will play a couple innings and then be sat down because you don't want him to get hurt before the season. Like, you only have so many opportunities that are limited. And there are so many guys in spring training right now that, look, you can take a guy like Jose Ramirez out very quickly and let your young guys play that, hey, if they're not succeeding necessarily, look, there's still some of the guys that would be brought back down to AA or AAA in the minor leagues. Not saying they're not major league ready, but they're not ready at that time. But you still want to get a look at what type of talent you have in your system. Jay, they told us flat out, Chris Antonetti, Mike Chernoff, Paul Dolan, all of them told us we want to see what we have in the young guys. And that's guys that will make the roster and guys that will be at AAA, that they want to see what they have. And some of those guys will be called up to be that added piece instead of a big trade or a big signing like we always wanted to see. But this team doesn't operate that way.
Different now too, because remember, we ain't got Tito. Tito was he was different when it came to rookies. Yes. And he wasn't as trusting maybe as this guy is. And I don't know, maybe he's just like Tito and doesn't really trust rookies either. But that was one thing about Tito that bothered me, is I think we gave up on guys and really give certain guys a chance, like Nolan Jones, still annoying me. But
I don't know that I'd put that on Tito solely, though.
Maybe. I don't know who sets that lineup. I would have kept him in. I thought he was playing pretty good when he was with us. He was our only power hitting outfielder at the time, and now he's the cream of the crop. And where is he? Colorado?
Yeah, he was.
Maybe it is. Maybe it's just because he's in Colorado too. I don't know how his road games are, because hitting in Colorado is different.
I mean, but Nolan
But-
Jones is a name that gets that's AA Anthony Alford. Him and Kyle Cornell will come in to record and put videos out of the side hustle. Am I saying that right, Peter? Side hustle.
The Side Hustle podcast.
Okay, yeah, all about pro wrestling, everything. But I was with AA at AA Anthony Alford. That's not AA Akron. I was with AA at Ohio Media School, and Ohio Media School, their sports internet radio station, that used to be the home of Captain's Baseball, high A, single A, minor league baseball. And boy, AA loved Nolan Jones. And like we all loved Nolan Jones. We got to cover him. We saw what kind of talent he had. He's an example. Will Benson's an example. There's so many other examples in this. I think.
Dude, you want to make a bet? Someone's going to come up this. I think he's in New York Yankees too. Oscar Gonzalez. Watch, he's the next one.
But wasn't he designated for assignment? I'm pretty sure I saw he.
I think he's gone.
I think he got designated. Yeah, I don't.
You guys are going to have to look it up. My phone's what I'm recording on. So
yeah,
But
I know that
believe
Oscar
he's
went
gone.
to the Yankees, but then I saw that he had gotten designated for assignment. I don't know what happened after that. I hadn't seen the update, so I will Google that as I talk here as well. It's just,
But
I mean, this team is flat out said, we feel bad about the fact that we have given up on some of these young guys that are having success, like Will Benson and Nolan Jones. We've given up on them too early. So this year we're going to see what we have in what are considered top-rated prospects.
so if they could fix that and start finding what power hitting outfielders they have in their own system, and they continue with this pitching, we're going to be okay. I don't know if we'll win first place even in our division this year, but we'll get back on track soon, I believe. Did you find anything out on our boy Oscar Gonzalez?
Yeah, so he was designated for assignment back in January because the Yankees signed Marcus Stroman, and then he cleared waivers and sent outright to the Scranton Wilkes-Barre Rail Riders, which I believe is the farm team of the Yankees. Yes, AAA affiliate of the Yankees is Scranton Wilkes-Barre.
Scranton.
Yeah.
Is that the place? Isn't that where the office is
Yes.
based from?
Yes.
Oh my God.
So like all of like the
The
B-roll
whites out
scenes,
there watching them play ball, huh?
Yeah.
Nice.
Except all of those scenes with the actors were filmed in Los Angeles. The B-roll and stuff is all scenes of Scranton, PA. Because I think that building, people had like shown it later on when the show was at its peak or just about to end. They had shown that building, and that's like in LA somewhere, or like California somewhere, where they were filming on location. They definitely did not film in Scranton, but they filmed all of the like the open and all of the outward scenery and stuff they filmed for Scranton. But yeah, so that's where Oscar Gonzalez is. He's gone from game-winning hits versus Tampa Bay and even the Yankees in the playoffs to back down to AAA. Now, is that a guy that
who's the guy in Tampa that we had? Huge dude. He's on Tampa Bay, and he's
Yandy
like,
Diaz?
yeah, that's another one that drove me nuts. I was like, how do you even let someone that big go? That dude was a monster.
I don't know. I mean,
almost won MVP was it last year or the year before? Like he was in consideration.
Yeah.
I'm like,
we could go down the list of guys that they've given up on. So now I hope they're not overcorrecting themselves. You know, you've made mistakes going one direction. Now you're trying to go all the way to the other side of like, we're going to give these guys every single opportunity. If you're in somewhat contention, need those guys, you continue to give them opportunities and they're hurting your chances. Like now you've overcorrected the whole mistake. What needs corrected though, Jay?
oh, dude, you took the words right out of my mouth, my friend. The MLB needs to Yeah.
Look, I don't want to spend a lot of time on this because like I don't know how to break it down. I know that
I'm going to break it down for you. The MLB is on its magic mic right now with these jerseys.
yeah, and I don't want to see that.
I mean, they're going to change the walk up and
I don't even want to
everything.
talk about
Now
that.
they're like, coming to the main stage, Jose Ramirez. And be like, dude, they need to change those jerseys right away. I just saw a picture I just didn't want to see, more or less. But like at first, I could see like the jerseys that were like tucked in. You could see their jerseys clear as day. So I'm like, dude, if it rains, it's gonna be bad. It's
Yeah,
gonna be
but
so bad.
all these guys are going to wear their own pants now. Like,
Yeah,
like that's the easy correction.
I got a feeling it's going to change because the players are just kind of annoyed by this.
Yeah.
But then again, it is baseball. They do some really dumb things sometimes.
I don't think that they know how to market anybody. You know, what's the
Hey,
example we give on the show all
maybe
the
these
time?
are just so bad that they're trying to get publicity. Like,
We are talking about them.
yeah.
yeah,
We're actually talking about baseball. We're talking about their uniform. Something that
they told the players like, "Don't worry, we're going to fix it, but I need you to take a couple OnlyFans pictures. I mean, MLB pictures real quick, and we're going to put them out there so people talk about us."
we're going way off track of what the show is all about right now. We're going down Magic Mike and OnlyFans type, like, but that's unfortunately like that's like the funny yet not funny part about that conversation. Now, I will say they may think they're getting us to do what they want us to do, but we always talk baseball on this show. So guess what? You know, you didn't get us. It's the people that don't want to talk baseball. Like we want baseball to come back. Like we're going to have, and Jay, I really want to do this as we get closer, even as the season starts. I want to talk about why baseball isn't at the forefront of the conversation, why America's pastime is dead to most fans. And
I mean, there's a lot of reasons. That's a loaded question.
Right. But that's why I want to have more time delegated to it. But like also what doors they should be opening and what things they should be looking at to actually, if they really want to get back to the main fan base, the average fan base of sports, there's things that they should be doing. We'll talk about that on another show. On the other side of the break, I don't know what we're going to talk about. No, actually, I do know what we're going to talk about.
I was going to say, I know what we were going to talk about, dude. How did I remember to talk about soccer and you didn't remember to talk about soccer?
I forgot. I said I'd only give an update. If you want to, we're talking now about doing a whole segment on them, and I'm absolutely fine with that. So we're going to talk Cleveland Crunch, our friends, our partners over at the Cleveland Crunch, because guess what? That's a team contending for a championship as well that not a lot of people are talking about. We'll talk about them, though, on the other side of the Voice of the Land on the Big Play Network.
Are you struggling to hire the right talent or maybe even find the right career? Vector Technical makes it easy. Since 1992, Vector has provided Ohio employers with a reliable process for hiring and have helped thousands of job seekers advance in their careers. Vector Technical is more than just a temp agency. We invest time to get to know each client and candidate personally. Vector places people in job opportunities that they are truly excited about. Interested in learning more? Visit our website at www.vectortechnicalinc.com to see a full list of our current job opportunities and to find out what Vector Technical can offer you.
Get your gear at voiceoftheland.com/shop.
Welcome back to the Voice of the Land here on the Big Play Network and Be On Air Podcast Network as well. I'm Kevin Arnold. Always Positive Jay is joining me remotely. A long day at work, and I'm sure he's going to fall asleep right after we close out the show.
Probably
at
in
9 o'clock.
seat.
Yeah, probably in that seat. Peter Tellep, our producer extraordinaire. What Jarvis was to Iron Man, our AI system audio, the humanoid form of Peter Tellep, is joining us as well. And yes, it is time to talk a little soccer. Again, going back to last week, definitely still want to thank Michael Murphy from Cleveland Pro Soccer. please back the bid. ClevelandProSoccer.com. We want to get a women's professional soccer team here. I think that this city would definitely back them. It's some of the best talent in NWSL. The best talent all around is in the American League. The American League for soccer, unlike MLS, I'm not saying the best talent isn't there, but it's not considered the top tier. NWSL is, and it would be great to have that here by 2026. So, Michael Murphy, everybody over at Cleveland Pro Soccer, we continue to spread the message. Again, you can back the bid. You can show that you're backing the bid at clevelandprosoccer.com. One of the teams here in town that backs the bid and is playing excellent soccer is the Cleveland Crunch. They got another win over their rivals last week. Rapid City FC from that stupid state up north. Yes, I said that stupid state up north. Guys, I mean, Peter, you know the story. Jay, I have a story for you, but it's not for on air. What I can tell you, the Crunch are 5-1 on the season. They've won 5 straight games. They have another home game coming up this Saturday at 7 o'clock, Soccer Sportsplex in North Olmsted, Ohio. You can get tickets at theclevelandcrunch.com. It's a family fun atmosphere. It is high-paced. It is energetic. It's hockey on a soccer field.
And the best part is I'll be there.
So you can come out. You can meet always positive Jay. Jay, I don't know who scored the first basket.
I do.
Who did?
It was Max Strus.
Max Strus kept his.
Strus is just keeping the Strus loose.
A 3-pointer.
Of course.
Of course.
It is 32-23 at the end of the first. So getting off to a hot start there.
Actually, it's
sorry, Matt. I doomed your bet.
in the second now.
It is what?
35-26 Cavs in the second.
So still a 9-point lead, but got off to a hot start tonight, which is good to see. It. They're going to have to do a lot to maintain that energy, especially with.
They got a grueling schedule coming up here. It's just game after game after game after game after game.
Right, and I think starting Sunday, the Knicks come to town. Tuesday, the Celtics come to town. So those are going to be 2 big ones in this rough stretch after playing a lot of games already.
Like tonight, you kind of want to see them jump out to a nice lead, hold that lead, get into the fourth quarter, and let the younger guys get out there and play, like Greg Porter Jr. and Sam Merrill and stuff. Let those guys get some minutes.
Chicago's not an easy place to play.
Oh no,
they always play us tough, just like Chicago plays the Crunch tight. And you have rivalries with teams in Chicago, Cleveland, Ohio having rivalries with teams in that state up north. It was really good to see the Crunch get the win, back up the win they had before. They like to get off the hot starts. Back-to-back games against Rapid City. The Crunch scored 5 goals and held Rapid City scoreless. So that I haven't figured out the word yet. The Cavs have Cavalanche. I don't know what it is for the Crunch yet. We can all think about that here on the show, and then maybe I'll use it on the broadcast. It is such a fun time, and you just see guys that love playing together and love the support that they get from the fans here. I watched the live streams, Jay, for the other teams in the league and some of the other pro indoor soccer teams around the country.
I do have to say we have a comment on Facebook. David Jordan says, "What up? What's up, guys?"
Oh, what's up? What's up, Captain Crunch?
Captain Crunch.
Of course, Dave Jordan, the captain of the Cleveland Crunch. We've had him on the show a couple different times. He is now a friend of the show. Thank you so much for tuning in. And look, he's one of the guys that's one of the veteran guys that's leading this team to where they are. And
that was a statement win too on Saturday. I mean, the first win at home was what? It was 11-8.
It was 11-8. Yes.
And this was 14-7.
Yeah.
And they did their talking on the field. It was.
Yeah. And in any rivalry game, that the talking is going to start. Jay, the trash talk kind of started there, especially more so in the third quarter. I was surprised how long it took. But the Crunch, I mean, the Rapid City got back in the game. They've been down 5 goals the whole time. They had all the momentum coming out of the third quarter. And then the Crunch just do what they do. They start fast and they finish strong. They finished that game strong, and now again 5-1, and a couple more home games before they finish out the year on the road. What are you most excited to see this weekend, Jay? As a fan that's just starting to come into soccer and learning soccer, I think it's good to hear your voice on these things. Like, what are you excited to see?
I mean, the biggest thing I'm actually excited to see has nothing to do with the game. It's just the reaction of my nephew is going to be the biggest thing I'm excited for. Game wise, I want to see this new strategy that they were talking about, how they play, because I got to see a couple of their games, and maybe I want to see if I can notice a difference. But yeah, I mean, I'm just excited to come watch it. Like, I really cannot wait to see my nephew's reaction and how much he enjoys it, because he loves soccer, and no one else in his house really likes soccer. He's like the black sheep when it comes to sports fandom. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
They're all football, baseball, basketball fans, and he's the only soccer fan. So I'm definitely excited to take him to his first game and see how much he enjoys it. Because I see how all these other kids do; they love it. And
I was that
since
kid.
our guy, and since our guys watching there, when you see us there, take care of my nephew. Get him on that the pitch. Is it called the pitch on
Hey,
indoor?
right after the game, they always open up make space through the net of one of the goals, and everybody, fans, the kids come out for autographs. So he's more than welcome after the game, especially as long as the Crunch do what they do best, come out after a win and get some autographs, talk to some of the players. Like, these players love to do it, and it's been the history of the Crunch. But like, you see people and athletes that they have these community events, or they interact with fans, but it feels like they're doing it because they're told to do it. These guys, I mean, and I'm even people from Cleveland, like Kyrie did this last night in Cleveland. Like, he spent a long time with fans that were waiting for him outside locker room as he's walking out of the arena to give him autographs. And he admitted to mistakes here and has love for the city.
I want to get back into that before the end of this segment. Just make sure you. But what you're getting to, I'm gonna steal it from you, dude. Is they recognize what they're doing. They know that these kids are the future of the sports. And what they generally enjoy it. That's one thing. That's why I'm excited to bring them, because that's what I witnessed when I would go there, is how they interacted with the kids. And even if the kids are just walking past the rails, they would stop and wave, "Hey, come take a selfie with me," and stuff. They were just the kid interaction. Like, it is good family fun. If you bring your kids to these stuff, and they will love it. I'm telling you.
And that's one of the advantages to the intimate setting of the soccer sportsplex. Now, I know that they want to get to a bigger facility, not because the sportsplex there's nothing to do with the sportsplex at all, just because they're selling out.
They can hold more.
They're selling out every game, and more fans want to come to these games. Now, if you do get a bigger venue, then the access to the field the kids might be a little bit further away, but I don't see anything changing if they do get a bigger venue some point down the line. The attitude, the mindset, it doesn't change. And they, just like we want, and we've seen from the Browns, the Guardians, the Cavs, to represent the city and what it's all about. Boy, the Crunch are another great example of that. The organization does. They put on a great product. They put on a great show for everyone that comes out. And it is just an absolutely great atmosphere. The intros are way above what most other teams do. The broadcast, the level of streaming, you're getting more than you do with any other team. And yeah, am I biased? Sure. But we're disappointed when something doesn't work. Like, we're adding post-game interviews, like right down the field, able to talk back and forth with us up on the platform and players down on the field, like giving that type of professional level broadcast to people that are tuning in, and not just throwing on a phone camera and just swinging it around, and someone in the background is maybe calling plays or not even calling anything with the live stream. Like, you expect to have that.
And Dave also commented, he said that there may be a halftime contest for the kids. So a lot of times during halftime at the crunch games, they'll have the kids come out. It depends on the game, but he'll look into it, let us know. So
yeah. So I mean, your nephew is going to
Oh,
get a
thank you.
great experience.
Oh yeah. Oh, for sure. Like I said, I'm really excited to take him there. But I want to get back to, you brought up Kyrie.
Yep.
And Kyrie, he finally came back, and this is the first time I've ever heard him say anything about like Cleveland after playing here. And it made me not angry with him anymore. Like, I was still angry with Kyrie. Like, I felt like he derailed what could have been like a mini dynasty of the Cavs. And
Well,
just like LeBron, I was pretty vendettive. Like, when it comes to it, I didn't hate him as a person. I just sports hated him, which is a complete difference to me. But yeah, the way what he said yesterday, it took a lot of that venom from me out of him.
yeah, and you felt that genuineness from him. I feel like he wasn't being.
It felt very real.
Yeah, I didn't always feel like the stuff maybe that were indirect shots at Cleveland or whatever. I don't always feel like he was being genuine. I mean, he has like his mind and like whatever he believes in, more power to him. It just like the way he presents it just got a little weird for a little while. I think he's found stability in Dallas alongside Luka Doncic. Instead of playing in a big market like Boston or New York, I think, you know, I kind of like that he went to Dallas more so than LA, not because I have anything against LeBron and the Lakers. It's just, I think it was good for Kyrie to go. Yes, Dallas is a well-known city, a big city, but still not as high profile as LA, New York, Boston, places like that. I think it's been good for him. And he's playing ball like the way he knows. Like, yeah, that's the Kyrie that we remember, a guy that can go out and get you 30 any single night and is still making plays for other guys on the court. So yeah, it was good to hear him say those things. I wasn't ever mad at him or, sports hating him or anything. I was just, I was disappointed. You said that he broke up what could have been a small dynasty. That was actually destroyed by the super team on metaphorical steroids with the Warriors by bringing in Kevin Durant. Like, you had a great big three that you built within your own organization. And because of one guy, the guy that gets brought up in all of the, possible GOAT conversations that we got to see for 11 years here in Cleveland, is still going 21 years into the league. Probably going to play 22 or 23, whether to play with his son or not. He's playing at that level where it feels like he has years left and not just games left in his career. That is LeBron James. Look, the Warriors brought in Kevin Durant to make a super team to beat one man, that is LeBron James. Kyrie was a big part of it. Kevin Love was a big part of it. All of those guys were a big part of it.
I thought Kyrie wasn't on the team when they had Durant on there.
He was there in 2017. He wasn't there. He was there for one of those two championship runs with Durant. When the Warriors had Durant, that next year Kyrie was here. It was that next summer of, I think that would be, 2017, where, Kyrie was traded away. And then, of course, the Cavs at the trade deadline made that trade with getting those guys, like Larry Nance Jr. and those types of guys on this team that helped the Cavs make that final run to the finals. But again, like, there's just only so much you can do. So did Kyrie leaving hurt the Cavs' chances of beating the Warriors with Durant? Absolutely. So he definitely put a damper into it. But I mean, again, you brought in that guy to stop one player. If that doesn't show you the impact that LeBron has had on the NBA and what type of career he's had, I don't know what does. But hey, what are you going to do? We got one final segment to go. This is the Voice of the Land on the Big Play Network.
Are you looking for a career in manufacturing? Vector Technical has you covered. Vector Technical is a 28-year-old staffing firm that has partnered with some of the biggest and the best companies throughout Northeastern Ohio. The recruiters at Vector Technical will coach you through the entire job process and will help you land an opportunity that you are truly excited about. Vector does not add any additional fees and offers benefits as well as free online skills training through Penn Foster. To learn more, visit www.vectortechnicalinc.com and make sure to check out our job board to see a full list of our current opportunities and apply.
One final time on this Wednesday nights, or anybody watching on replay on YouTube, on Twitter, on Facebook, audio, Be On Air Podcast Network, Google, Spotify, Apple, whatever day it might be for you. But one final time on this Wednesday night for us as we put our show out there every Wednesday at 8 o'clock live at VTL_pod on Twitter, Voice of the Land on Facebook, Voice of the Land Podcast on YouTube. Of course, part of the Big Play Network and Be On Air Podcast Network. We always like to end the show to show that we're not just about sports and try to have some fun, because sometimes, while sports are an escape, sometimes we don't even want to talk sports at all. And we were all into Marvel, comic book heroes, all these different things. I mean, you see all the sports stuff behind Jay at his house, but I
got the Star Wars shirt on, the pew pew.
You got the Star Wars shirt on. There's an Iron Man mask there. There's a gauntlet. So we get into all different types of things. We'll talk food. We'll talk about anything at the end of the show. But today, Jay had an interesting conversation. I think it's apropos for today with the unfortunate passing of
exactly why we brought it up, because he was in my favorite spoof movie.
I don't know why, but the name's escaping me. Jay, please enlighten everyone who was.
Why is it Richard? Is it Richard Lewis?
Yes, Richard Lewis. Yes. I had the Lewis part, but I couldn't remember his first name for some reason. It just
graduated from Ohio State.
State. Yep, big Buckeye fan, big member of Curb Your Enthusiasm. That cast
and Prince John from Robin Hood Men in Tights.
Yep.
And that's absolutely. I'll watch that movie any day of the week. I absolutely love that movie still. And first time I ever seen Dave Chappelle.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, one of the things that Richard Lewis gets a lot of credit for is, it's a spoof movie. So Jay brought up, what is your favorite spoof movie? That people have done the Not Another Teen movie, where they
very underrated movie right there.
Really?
I thought that movie's hilarious.
I'd rather watch whatever the real version of that was with Freddie Prinze Jr. than Chris Evans, the spoof with Chris Evans.
Oh, I love the spoof.
I wasn't the
part where the girl gets out of the pool after she jumped in the pool, and then the bully girl comes up to her. She's like, "Oh yeah," and then takes a bottle of water and spills it on her, after she got out of the pool, and then freaks out. I'm sorry. I find it hilarious every single time.
All right, this is the last Cavs update I'm going to give because, I'm superstitious. So we brought them up, and now they're tied at 45 with the Bulls, so not scoring as well in the second quarter. And also a quick update. Caitlin Clark now needs 27 points against Ohio State at home on senior night to break the NCAA record. So thank you, Jana, for that update. But guys, favorite spoof movie. Jay, it's your topic. I'm gonna let you start.
Oh, I told you it's Robin Hood Men in Tights, without a doubt. It's one of my favorite movies ever. Right behind it is probably Spaceballs, most likely. But I love Robin Hood Men in Tights. Dude, it's just too funny to me every time. And most of these spoof movies are completely on PC now. You couldn't do this stuff now.
No.
Oh yeah, there's so many one-liners from that movie.
You mean Blazing Saddles?
Yeah, that's a spoof movie, isn't it?
It's a spoof of cowboy movies.
Yeah,
really.
Monty Python a spoof?
I've never seen it.
Monty Python's not really. Well, I don't know. That's a good
Monty
question.
Python is English humor,
but it's kind of a spoof.
Makes no
it's kind of a
sense to me.
spoof on the old, King Arthur
Round
table type movies. But I was gonna say, for me, I love Spaceballs. Saw Spaceballs in the movie theaters when it came out in the theaters. But that's a tough one because one of my favorites too is this is Spinal Tap. There's so much just great little hidden gems in that movie. I don't
even know what it is.
It's so basically it's have you ever seen A Mighty Wind or anything like that? Like Michael McKean and So it's basically they took, I think it was based on some true stories of actual rock and roll bands from like the 60s and 70s, stuff that happened to them, and it's just a spoof of this. It's a rockumentary, and they're following this band Spinal Tap as they're doing their world tour, and they're playing like these pitiful little venues. You know, and people don't even know they're on tour. So it's kind of like the big arena rock band, kind of on the downhill slide, but it is hilarious.
I've seen like bits and pieces of it. It's like
Harry Shearer is in
Yeah.
it. Does a lot of the voices on The Simpsons.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's I do. You know, I don't think I have it on DVD yet.
Now, is there a spoof movie about all the Disney movies? Because that would have been Kevin's.
No. No,
If there was, it would have been your favorite. Don't lie.
No, it wouldn't be,
There just
because
isn't one,
don't
no one wants to see it.
don't make fun of my Disney movies. Like, I'm not gonna.
I'm not making fun of your Disney movies.
I'm saying
I like Disney movies. Your
right,
obsession with it is what I'm making fun of it.
right. Like, I don't need a spoof of all of that. Like, don't. I'm not saying you. I'm saying like to the general public, the movie makers and stuff, filmmakers, don't make fun of my Disney movies. Like, that's what.
It's not making fun of them. It's paying a homage to them.
It depends on how you
All
look
the
at
movies.
it.
If your movie's spoofed, you had a good movie.
Yeah. Now, my favorite spoof of all time is the one you guys have kind of like said and glanced over. It is Spaceball.
Yeah,
Spaceballs is my absolute favorite.
It's a fantastic movie.
May the Schwartz be with you.
That movie is just
Liquid Schwartz.
Well, that's the funny, the scene in there where they're doing all the merchandise.
Yeah.
The reason they did that scene is because to spoof it, to get Lucas's permission, George Lucas says you could spoof it, you just can't sell merchandise. Because he didn't want people to confuse Spaceballs merchandise with Star Wars merchandise.
Yeah.
So I think it would be really hard to confuse the two.
Yeah.
That is a great movie, though.
Yeah. The Transformer ship that they have that goes into the maid with the vacuum to suck the air out of the planet.
She went from suck to blow. And there are so many good lines in that movie.
Like, and John, oh my gosh, John Candy. Like,
they jammed the radar. Only one person would use raspberry.
Pizza the Hut.
Yeah.
It's something that stands the test of time. I think that's what makes something brilliant, even if it's not Oscar worthy or whatever. And I'm not the type of person that gets into the Oscar worthy. Like, that's not what I'm going for. I'm not going to the movies or watching a movie at home to critically think and stuff. I might watch a few of them. I've seen Barbie. I know that Jan and I want to see Oppenheimer, but like,
you wait, hold on, time out. You took time out of your day to watch that movie.
Yes.
Did you see it?
Like, you can't have that time back. You know that, right?
I don't feel like I wasted my time.
I had it on while I was at work.
I'm convinced that movie is hypnotizing people, and it's doing something to people.
I think
there's no way
right, this isn't
that
a
everyone
conspiracy
likes
theory
this damn
show.
movie.
I don't know what you're doing.
It's mine now.
The thing is, you actually need to watch it because it's not what you think it is.
Yeah,
I don't care.
That's the thing.
I can't handle that much pink. It would drive my eyes insane.
Okay.
Looks like a lot of pink.
It's not that much pink.
But the movie is not what you think it is.
Yes, it's not what you think.
It's Barbie.
Okay.
Know what I did to Barbies when I was a kid? I ripped their damn heads off. All right.
I'm sure some of the girls
G.I. Joe.
Some of the kids that played with them did
Barbie.
that too. Like,
man, that movie's gonna get us. That movie will never get a spoof. I'll put it that way.
If you don't want to see it, that's totally fine. I'm suggesting to keep an open mind and watch it.
But back to our spoof talk.
Yes.
One we didn't talk about. You ever seen the Dewey Cox show?
No.
It is the spoof on Walk Hard. Or Walk the
yeah.
Line. It's Walk Hard, the Dewey Cox show.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that movie is hilarious. Kevin, you probably wouldn't like it though. You
Why?
might.
Why? Why is
'Cause
everything
you-
something
don't
I
know.
might not
I
like?
don't know.
Kevin doesn't like anything bad.
Okay, I don't.
Maybe
know.
it's
What?
you don't ever guys ever feel like that?
I don't like things that are gory and like I don't get into
But I
the
don't
horror
think I don't think a
films.
spoof on Walk the Line would be gory.
Yeah.
Oh, it's not gory. I just didn't think you really cared for like. Do you watch mob movies?
No, but I mean, like, it's a spoof movie, so it's not.
Do you watch like I don't know? It's got like it's a little darker for a spoof movie. That's what I would say.
Okay. I mean, it's not something that I'm like closed minded to, like you are with Barbie. So
Yeah, there you go. I think
I'm
I'm
close-
pretty close minded when it comes to Barbie.
yeah,
I closed my mind to Barbie.
and you know what we need to do right now? We need to close the
Close
mind of
the
the
show.
show because it is time to go and the wrestling podcast needs to get in here and get recording. So for Always Positive Jay, for Peter Tubb, we thank everyone that tuned in tonight. I am Kevin Arnold reminding all of you, hey, don't let anyone ever tell you it's just a game. We truly love you all 3,000
Don't talk about it. Be about it.
and live life all gas, no breaks. We'll see you next time right here on the Voice of the Land, the Big Play Network, and Be On Air Podcast Network.